Let's now focus on KwaZulu-Natal. We know from the Premier today that the bill to fix all the damage from the floods last month is now going to be well over 25 billion rand. That's an awful lot of money. Residents of Tongaat, in the meantime, may have dry taps for another 4 months. Authorities assessing water infrastructure damage there. eThekwini Deputy Mayor Philani Mavundla says repairs are going to start soon. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos joins us from Umhlanga now. Hello Heidi, so I understand that you were actually at the water plant in the Tongaat area. What did you get to see today?
Yes, Sally, I think all residents in Tongaat could actually just see that water plant and the devastation there. The plant has basically been completely washed away. The pipe that was a pipe that was outside was completely moved and washed away from its original place. It was full of water when the rains and the floods hit KwaZulu-Natal. That pipe was moved and pushed with the force of the water, and it had water inside. That completely moved, almost completely damaged the waste plant, and we do know that 5 pumps have basically been submerged inside the water waste plant. But this is why people in Tongaat don't have water, because the water plant has been completely damaged. What we do understand is that the construction currently underway is costing about 14 million rand. And additional to that, it's going to cost about 60 million rand to repair the full water plant and to make sure that no damage has been made to the waste plant. So it's huge damage that we're talking about. Yes, the floods are over. We hope there's going to be nothing devastating this weekend, but the devastation remains, the disaster remains, because people do not have water, and the water waste plant is going to take about 5 months. The Deputy Mayor of eThekwini, Philani Mavundla, indicating that he will give me, he made a promise, he said he will give me his salary if the project does not complete within 5 months. So we're going to keep him to that and see whether or not he will be able to finish that water plant to have restoration, full restoration to Tongaat residents. Let's listen to what he had to say to us earlier.
Well, what happened when the floods happened, the entire water abstraction system was washed away. The pipe that brings additional raw water as well was just washed away. So basically there was no more water going into our treatment plant, even if the treatment plant was not washed away. But then there was no water going in. Now to get that back, we need first of all to fix the dam wall, have a road on top of it, and have services which are your inlet and outlet pipes that need to be running over the bridge and then into the dam wall. And only then we can reach the plant. Once all that is done, we're going to get to the plant in a shaft there. We've got about 5 pumps that are still submerged that we need to rig out, go and fix that, bring it back while we're stabilizing the building, reconnect and get the water to the people.
There's a lot of work to do in the next 5 months, Heidi. In the meantime, many Tongaat residents are just without water. Do you have an estimate of how many people are without water, and what are the plans in place to give them what they need every single day for the next few months?
Sally, it's thousands of people that have been left without water. It's not just in the Tongaat area, but a number of other areas here in eThekwini and in border KwaZulu-Natal because of the devastation of the floods. I was watching our senior reporter Sibamandla Goge speaking about the devastation of a lot of the electricity infrastructure, and those were the 2 main services, electricity and water, that were severely affected by the KwaZulu-Natal floods, and it seems as though this is going to persist. The Deputy Mayor indicating to us that they have made an alternative plan. They have almost what you call a mobile water waste plant that they are going to be putting at Tongaat, that's going to provide some kind of relief and provide water to residents there. Of course, not the whole of Tongaat, because they need that water plant to work before they can provide full restoration. They're also going to be taking water from other reservoirs, which could possibly mean that nearby areas will have what we call water shedding. So we used to load shedding, and now areas are going to have water shedding because they're going to have to take from other reservoirs so that people in Tongaat can have at least about 4 hours of running water coming out of their taps, because they cannot survive just on tankers for the next 5 months. It's a huge project. The Deputy Mayor is, of course, very grateful for many private companies, NGOs, and, of course, government bringing in those water tankers, but that's unsustainable, especially for 5 months. So this is where the alternative plan is going to come in, taking from other reservoirs and, of course, having business and private companies assist where they can to try and speed up the process. And Sally, before we just listen to what the Deputy Mayor said, I think it's important to highlight the challenges that the Metro eThekwini is facing in terms of getting access to funding, because all has been centralized and everything is now going through National Treasury, because this is a national state of disaster and it's no longer provincial. This becomes very difficult for access to funding. So while the Deputy Mayor is on the ground and you see him in his overall and in his boots, he does not have the capacity to get access to funds to assign these contractors. So that's why you're seeing delay after delay. Yesterday we were on the M4 bridge connecting Mbloti, Belito, La Mercy, all those areas. The community can't wait 6 to 8 months. That's why they're going to raise the funds themselves. So there are massive challenges here, but they are trying their very best to get the lives of many people in KwaZulu-Natal back to normal. Let's listen to what the Deputy Mayor said.
Up until 2 days ago, we provided 22 water tankers. You've seen yourself this morning, the National Lottery Commission gave us additional 4. So basically, we've got more. Out of the 188 water tanks that we had in eThekwini, we now have 192. So we are really doing, in fact, we're doing more than anybody have done in the past. And we're hoping that the community will understand. If we're talking about Tongaat, I've shown you where we're trying to connect to the reservoirs so that the people can have at least the 4 hour of the water coming out of their tap. We're not going to remove the water tankers. We're still going to have the water tankers, but we just want them to have that comfortness of at least having 4 hours of the water flow coming out of their tap. But we also very close to finalize our deal. We've got one supplier that has donated a water treatment plant that will purify about 1.4 mega that we're going to connect here. That will reduce the load a lot. So basically, we're looking at all these inventions that are coming up.
Well, it certainly seems like the Deputy Mayor, as you say, is very involved. Let us hope that those plans for keeping people in water in the meantime are going to work, and that indeed the fixes happen in time. It is an enormous operation. Heidi, thank you so much for that update on the dire water situation, the floods devastating water infrastructure in and around Tongaat.